Alright guys, I'm gonna try my best to explain this, and I'll upload a couple scripts in the description so you can skip a few steps. So you have the base Genesis 9 over here. I put her on the Eva morph. I apply it. You see all the corrections being made. Everything looks good. So to set this up, it's not that hard. I don't think so. It's just a little bit tedious, but I did get ChatGPT to write me a couple scripts to make this a little easier. So I'll be uploading those in the description, and you can just follow along and get your setup. Now this doesn't just work with DAS. This works with any body type, any character archetype. Doesn't matter if it's character creator, metahuman, whatever. I got the idea from the Sims video, and then after tools like Mesh Morpher came out, and DAS to Hue, stuff like that. You know, they're very good plugins. I don't personally use them just because they're too expensive for me, but and they do more than this. Like, this is not a replacement for those plugins. This is just an alternative if you just want to get your morph targets working in Unreal Engine just like they do over in DAS. This is the way you can go about it. Alright, give me a minute to prepare. This is a lot. So what you want to do first is make a collection, call it base, and the names on the collections do matter because we're going to be using scripts to move data around, and they need those names to know where they go to. So I'll call it base, and I'll make a new collection, and I'll call this shapes. That's the characters we import. This is going to be the base body. I'm going to take everything in my scene, A, M, and move it into the base, just like that. And then the shapes collection is where I can import a character. Now, before we import any characters, we don't want to export the whole character body plus the mouth, eyes, etc. to the game as one file, because the morph targets aren't going to come in right. Like the morphs on the mouth, the morphs on the tear, and the eyes, those aren't going to be showing if they're fused into one object. They each need to be kept separate so that when the morphs transfer, they all have their own sliders and they all work correctly. I mean, you could probably find a way to fuse these, but I'm not going to do it that way. It's too much of a mess. So what you can do is you can make a new collection 3, call it game, and in that collection you can make one for each item. So if I just do new, I have the base body, I have the base eyes, and then I'll do base tear, and then the base mouth, just like that. Now each of these collections, they need a skeleton that goes with the object that you're sending to the game, right? So in order to get the object and the skeleton to both send the game together, you're going to need to link your data from the skeleton into each collection. So I'm going to start by moving the objects. This is the body. It's in the base collection, so I can't use M to move it. I need to use Shift M. So when you say Shift M, it links to a new collection. So I could say base body. There it is. It's still in this collection. It's just linked down here now. I can hide the skeleton. I can go to the eyes, and then I'll use Shift M to link this to the base eyes. And then I'll use, H to hide it, and then I'll use Shift M to link this to the tear, and then Shift M to link the mouth to the mouth, just like that. Now they each need a skeleton to import correctly to Unreal, so Shift M on your skeleton, and you can link it. I mean, there's probably a way to do it all at the same time, but I'm just gonna click each one. Base body, and I need that in the eyes, and the tear, and the mouth. And now each one should have the Genesis 9 skeleton on top of the object that's linked. And you can see these are grayed out. All that's important is the object you're linking is highlighted and it's showing in a brighter color like that. It should be good to go. Now there's a plugin you want to enable before you do any of the scripts that I send you. You want to go into Get Extensions and look for Auto Link or Link Data, or Data, Auto Sync Data Object Names. That's it. So make sure you get this. This is going to make things a lot easier. Just hit install and you're good to go. And then for me, I'm going to be sending these with DAZ to Unreal, and then importing them directly into Blender. So over here, I've got character I want to bring in. Let's use Pixie as an example. And I'm going to take her proportions, her body, everything. We're going to take the whole character in. Over here, I could say send to DAZ to Unreal. In the subdivision data, I sent the base body at sub D2, so I should bake the character at sub D2 for the vertex order to match. The only thing that's important for this to work is your character models that you translate to the base body, they need to have the same vertex count and the same vertex order. I have a video on my channel a couple of days ago on how to transfer your vertex orders if that ever gets mismatched. But for vertex count, you're talking about wrapping the character and all this extra stuff. So just try to keep that the same, if you can. If you can't, then it's a huge mess. I'm gonna call this Pixie, Pixie 9, something I can easily remember, and accept. Bada bing. Now, I'm going to have a smoke while that waits, and when it's done, I'll show you the next step. Should be easy peasy. Let me just move these collections, reorder, make it a little easier on me. Yeah, I think that's good. It is 2 subdivisions, so it's going to be pretty hefty. That's why I'm keeping all the body parts separate, so that way I don't have trouble importing them. Alright, there we go. Alright. There we go. Fucking... My taskbar was not showing up until I closed everything. I'm quickly running out of memory. Let me hit that one more time and then I'll start. Alright, so to get the character in, I'm going to select the shapes collection. And then I'm going to do a file import FBX experimental. There's FBX, you can use either, but I find the experimental one to import a lot quicker. I don't think there's a difference in how it imports, but it does seem to work a little bit faster, so I'm using that one. And I'll open the folder it's sent to. I'm not using the base, I'm using Pixie 9. This is the unsubdivided body, so I'm bringing this one in. Uncheck animation, you don't need it. And ignore leaf bones. Very important, ignore leaf bones has to be on. At least for DAZ. I don't know if that matters for each one, but just turn that on. And go ahead and import that. You get the character, there she is. And she's obviously shorter than this character, so you already know what happens when you add the morph over. Say you were to apply that and then start animating. You can see the... it's bad. It's not good, right? So we want to fix that. Let me click through, get rid of that. Now, in order to get the animation from this onto our skeleton, you could select your main character, your base body, and then you can click New Action. I'm in the Action Editor. You get there through the Dope Sheet. So go to Dope Sheet, switch it to Action Editor. Make one pose for your base character and keyframe that. You probably don't need to do that, but I do it anyway. And make a new action and give it the name of the character. So I'm going to call this Pixie 9 because that's the name of the character I'm going to be using this for. And now, all I have to do is select my skeleton for the base body, shift select the new character that I want to morph to, go up to make ERC, click run, give that a second, and that'll take everything that's on your base character and morph it down to your new character. Now you need to select your base character, not the new character, but the base skeleton. Select every bone in the body, delete keyframes. And this is only if you did one before. Just go ahead and wipe them. And I'm only at frame 1-1. I'm using one frame start and end is both 1. And I'm gonna hit I to key everything. And then after keying these, I'm going to select F3. By default, it's F3. It might be spacebar for you, but get the search menu. And then choose bake action. And then you want to bake with visual keying. And you need clear constraints, clear parents, and overwrite if you're doing this a second time. I mean, I just keep it on anyway. Pose and all this stuff. So just make sure all these are on, and it'll ensure that everything gets into Unreal Engine the right way. Hit OK. And then once you're done, save it, and then make sure to hit the Save Fake User. This way Blender doesn't auto-delete your actions. And now you can go back to your base pose, select your new character skeleton, the new one. Then you want to shift select the body, just like that. And then run, or not the body, but the base skeleton. So new skeleton first, shift select, grab the base skeleton. Then run make ERC. And after you do that, you go down to your shapes skeleton, the one you just imported, and she'll look like this. She'll be all stretched out and very funny. And then you want to go and do animation mode, and you want to key everything and then bake this. So make sure you bake this, and then you need to select your new character's body, which if you clicked and it shows this one, click again, click through it, you can see there's a skinnier body in there that's stretched out. That's the one. And you could transfer it by joining as shapes. Now that's if you want to do it manually. If you got both scripts that I put in the description, you could just select the skeleton name up here and type in the name of the character. So it's Pixie9, that's the one I'm doing. And that add-on I told you to install, that'll rename the skeleton to the object data all at the same time. So it'll do that for you. Now when you switch the scripts over to shapes with names, this will transfer all the shape keys to your base character for you based on name and to each object. So when you run it, it'll lag for a second, just give that a hot minute, and then each key it adds should be that deformed shape key that we just made. So I go in here and I've got the eyes, and they should all stay in the same position. Like when I choose the tier shouldn't be going up and down, it should stay where the head is. And it's all set up from this point. Now we want to take this to the game. So I'm going to open the game collection, and in order to export this, I'll make a new export preset. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Nice. Yeah, I just crashed Blender. Did not mean to do that. Okay. Let me just make sure everything is working. Okay, looks like we're good to go. Don't know why it crashed there. Oh, whatever. I'll worry about that later. So in the game collection, base body, I'm going to go into the collections exporter, this thing right here. I'm going to hit new, and I'm going to choose FBX. And you don't have to use FBX, I'm just doing it because, like, just get it in there real quick. And I'm going to choose armature mesh, scale 1, these options, just do whatever you need to do. This all looks good to me. And then I'm going to go to each collection and add the FBX and add the preset. Now if you want to make a preset, you can set your settings down here, set them all up, and then up here hit the plus icon after naming it. So give it a name and hit plus, but then all you need to do is click it. It's probably a faster way to add all these. I mean, I could have just asked ChatGPT to do it for me, but whatever. Just get it all in there. Do what you gotta do. Each one just like that, plus FBX, Unreal, boom. Now the skeleton needs to be sent in with the animations. So in order to create the animation folder, I'm gonna go up to the very top. I'm gonna hit new collection. I'm going to select the collection. I'm gonna press M, or it doesn't work like that, my bad, I'm dumb. Let me just collapse some of these. And then I'm going to call this animations, and I'm going to drag this up to game. The reason I'm doing this is every time I add animations to this collection, it should just bring them in when I re-import. Easy peasy. Now up here, I could just hit FBX, choose Unreal, and then down here I'm going to make one small change. This won't overwrite the other settings for the other collections, it'll stay on its own. You check animation. And then up here I'm going to go to my skeleton, and I'm going to use Shift M. Again, we're not moving it, we're just linking it. This way it stays in the base collection for those other scripts to work. And then I'm going to go down here and then link it over to animations, just like that. And now I'm ready to export. Everything's good to go. Let me just double check that the Pixie pose is on there. So I go in here and I say Pixie 9. There we go. That's what she looks like deformed. It's so funny. Alright, and then when you're done, just hit File, Export All Collections, and that'll export everything to your desktop. Or if it's on your desktop, if you save your blend file in a folder, that folder is where everything's going to be located. So if I open my desktop, which is where I saved it, I've got a folder in here called Tutorial. And that's got everything I just exported. All of it's right there. Bada bing. You can see the blend files, the FBMs, and there's the FBXs. Now, over in Unreal Engine, I'm going to open that up. And then I'm going to explain how to import and insert the transforms for like all the characters. It's very easy. Like, it's not completely automated. I mean, I'll try my best to use serpents and like make an add-on out of this or something, but for right now, it's just a bunch of scripts. And you know, they were made with AI, so like they're not perfect, but they do what they need to do. So hopefully this helps you guys. I'm gonna do import, and I'm gonna import everything but the animations file. I'm gonna say yes, 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 overwrite everything. It's gonna take a little bit to bring that in because they are very high poly, but I'm trying to set this up for something later, so I do want to keep it high poly for right now. I'm at sub D2. If you're doing this at like sub D1, you bake your higher subdivisions into normals. That's what most people do. Probably be a lot faster. Or you use USD. I have a video on my channel on how to use USD to bring in hundreds of morphs on like 3 subdivisions, and it comes in very fast. But I'm not using USD to do this because the current version of Unreal, I've just had too many issues with it. So until they fix it, I'm not using it. Alright, looks like we're almost there. It's taking its sweet time. Alright, looks like it's done. So my new character now has the Pixie Morph. There we go, that's what we want. Now to create the pose asset, you open your base body without applying morphs, nothing in there. You hit create asset, create pose asset, and choose current pose. After you choose current pose, you'll get a new asset called a pose asset. And here is where you have your character shapes, and this is what makes all the magic happen. This is what moves the bones with the shape keys, makes everything work together. It's usually used for animation, but we're using it to make, you know, customization system. You like make a blueprint later, have little sliders or whatever. So over here in animations, I'm gonna hit import. I'm gonna import the animations file. And then down here, I'm gonna choose import animations. And my set range, because I did frame 1 and the timeline goes from 1 to 1, like it's only 1 frame altogether, I have to hit the frame range and do set range and choose 0 to 1. So it's got to be 0 to 1 to import correctly from Blender if you do it that way. And then there's another option in here you want to check called import only animations. So you just type only in here and you can check that on. It'll only import the animations for these characters. That way it's a little bit faster, and that's also why I sent only the skeleton out. If you type only and you uncheck that, that'll still work, I think, if you're just sending a skeleton. So you don't need to check anything there. That should be fine as long as you're only sending the skeleton by linking it to its own collection. Now here you got to choose a skeleton, so I'm just going to type base because that's how I named it, base body. You can see there's no base mouth or base tear, base eyes. Like, it's just base body, because when we import the other items, we want to choose base body. So like if you imported the body first, don't do the other parts. Like, do the body and then import the other items, and make sure to choose the same skeleton. That way they come in and you don't have to have all these separate skeletons. And then you can hit import. And it might say import failed. If it does, just go into animations like that. Choose only. Maybe only animations is needed here. And then just choose the same skeleton. If that fails, I'll try to figure it out. But this happened to me earlier, and there was no issue with it. Do I want to overwrite? Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why that happens. When you say only animations, sometimes it has a hard time. I don't know what's going on there, but it's whatever. Now you want to open your animations for your characters. Each character should have a name. It inserts the skeleton on top, like whatever your skeleton name is, it's going to auto-insert that into it, which is kind of annoying, but you know, it's not like you could just import pose assets directly from Blender, so we got to rename it anyway. You just need to click create asset, insert pose, and choose base body skeleton pose asset. So the pose asset you made, just click on it, and then over in the pose asset, because the character name is Pixie, and if I name it the same, it should just work. So I've got Pixie9. There's this tag here, don't worry about that, that's not part of the name. So you got the character name and your pose asset. You should go in and find the last pose you inserted, so I do one at a time just so I can find them easier, because they won't look the same. Like, this is not accurate to what the character looks like. You just need to type the character's name in, so rename Pixie9, and there we go. And now when I morph the skeleton from the base body, all the bones will be in the same positions that you had them in Dash Studio or in Blender or in whatever, like wherever you got it from. So everything should be just fine. Now it's giving me an error up here. This I just haven't put a material on my characters, so it's whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you invert, you'll get some really weird results when doing it this way. So this is what I mean by it doesn't work exactly like those other tools, and it doesn't work like it does in DAZ. But your 0 to 1, if you're just morphing like that, should be perfectly fine. So you could have your base character and your bones and everything should work fine. So like if I rotate these, the animation shouldn't get distorted from going from the base character to the new character. Everything should be good. There you go. It's that easy. So hopefully this helps you guys, and maybe I'll try to elaborate this a little bit more, you know, do something around it. But for right now, that's all I got. I hope this helps you guys create your characters, do whatever you're trying to do, saves you some time. And in the future, I'll try to make a better version of this where, you know, you have some buttons. I've been playing with serpents, so like you could visually script a menu and put your scripts in there and just have them auto trigger when you hit buttons. So I'm going to try to make a little add-on for you guys. Until then, see ya.